I have never met somebody as educated as Dr. Senia Maymin. Harvard, UPenn, and of course Stanford. She is the author of a great selling book called Profit from the Positive. She also has a wonderful executive coaching company that works with all the top Silicon Valley companies. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Senia Maymin.
I want to give you a 30,000-foot view of the science behind happiness. Who here has heard of positive psychology? I'd say about a third to half the room. Positive psychology is unlike the psychology that Mike described at the beginning. So unlike the study of depression and schizophrenia and panic attacks, all of which is very important. But unlike that, there's another field called positive psychology, which actually studies happiness. What is positive psychology? I'll start with what it's not. It is not seeing the world as the glass half full. So it's not just having this rosy-eyed view of the world and thinking everything is good. It is not that when you get lemons, you are going to make lemonade. That's a nice thing to think about, but that's not positive psychology. So it's not positive thinking. What is it? In '98, a man named Martin Seligman became the president of the American Psychological Association. And he said, we've been doing things a little bit wrong. We've only been studying these things that Mike described. How about we study high genius, or we study what's working really well? And so people did. People started studying this. So right now, take off your hats as the attendees of the Happiness Hall of Fame and put on your bridge architect hat. Imagine you are in training to be the most incredible bridge architect in the world. Would you study all of the bridges that have fallen and collapsed and broken? I see a big scared expression in the audience. Or would you study all the bridges that have withstood this test of time and have stood for hundreds of years or 1,000 years? You should probably study both. But traditional psychology has only studied one, and positive psychology brings the other side of the expression to it. So I'll give you the one-sentence summary of what positive psychology, the science of happiness, studies. It studies what's right. What's right in relationships, what's right in business, what's right in productivity, what's right in your personal fulfillment. So I'll give you a few examples of where positive psychology has found counterintuitive findings. For example, if you want to finish a project, so you're at work and you want to finish a project, would you think that you should finish that project right away? Let's say you have a 2-hour chunk. Or should you finish some of it today and some of it tomorrow, an hour and an hour? You might think, oh, let me do the quick and get it done. This is a project, I'm going to finish it. But actually, counterintuitively, the result is that you should stretch it out over 2 times because your brain is thinking about it in the middle. Similarly, a study about introversion. If you're an introvert and you're sitting on an airplane and there's a stranger next to you, what would make you happier, talking to that stranger or not talking to that stranger if you're an introvert? It would actually make you happier to talk to that stranger, counterintuitively. It's studies like this where we may not know what we should expect that positive psychology looks into. So let me do an experiment with all of you. Could everybody stand up? We're going to do an experiment of what's right in flexibility. Stand up. You're looking at me. Look straight. Now, everybody turn to your right as far as you can with your head. Keep turning all the way to the right. And look for what the furthest spot is that you can see. So mark that spot, that furthest spot. And now everybody turn back towards me. And now everybody turn towards your left. As far as you can look as far as you can possibly see, and mark that spot, the spot that you can see visually, and turn back towards me. And now let's be bobblehead dolls, just like on the car when you're driving. So shake your head a little bit, yes? Now shake your head all the way to the right. Just keep going to the right. Shake it, just like in the car. And then move back forward towards me. Keep shaking your head. And now shake your head all the way over to the left. Keep shaking your head, keep shaking it. And then shake your head all the way over towards me again. And now turn to the right and see how far you can see. So turn all the way to the right and mark the spot that you can see that's the furthest that you can see. Keep going, keep coming back. I think some people are having the effect of this experiment. And go all the way over to your left and mark that spot, the furthest one that you can see. And now come on back to center. We saw further. Please sit down for a moment. It's a lovely experiment. You can try it with kids for sure. What is it? It's an experiment in flexibility. We think we can only go a certain distance, but by being bobbleheads, being very excited bobbleheads, we can actually go further. What are we showing? We are showing by studying what's right in flexibility, we can go there. So I will leave you with one last thought. If positive psychology is the study of what's right, then how can you use that to your advantage? Suppose you need to make a decision, a very important decision. Given positive psychology, what you should really do is look at where you have been exceptional at making a great decision in the past. Whom did you consult? Did you look at logic or emotion? What was the environment? And when you look at that, then try to move that over to what you're doing now. So try to replicate that environment. What you're doing is you're replicating what's right into the current situation. And that is positive psychology.